Hello students, today's agenda is to check homework. We'll be learning about inequalities and you will be able to do 4.6. Today students will be able to set up and solve inequalities in one variable and describe possible answers. But before we do that, if you can write this in a flashcard, when we say less than, it's just this symbol right here. Greater than is this right here. Less or equal to, you have less and the equal sign underneath. But also for that same symbol, you have at most. That means that that's the maximum. It has to be that amount or less when we have at most. The maximum or the limit means the same thing. For example, the speed limit is 65 miles per hour. That means that you have to drive at 65 miles per hour or less than that. For this one, we have greater or equal to, at least. For example, if you go to a job and you want to earn at least $25 an hour, that means you want to earn $25 or greater than that. If you're selling your car, for example, and the minimum that you want for the car is $6,000, that means that you want $6,000 or more. These are going to be handy. If you can write them in a flashcard, that's going to be helpful so that you can see them as you do the word problems. Okay, and here, direct comparison. It says you have 4 filing folders with documents archived and 27 extra documents that need to be filed. You have less than your colleague who has 115 documents. How many documents might there be in each filing folder? So you have 4 filing folders with documents inside and 27 that need to be filed. You have less than your colleague who has 115. Now we're going to solve just like we do with equations. And so we get 4x is less than 15, take away 7 is 8. So this ended up in 0. 10 minus 2 is 8. If we're multiplying, the opposite of multiplication is division. And so x is less than, the 4 goes into a 2 times, the 4 goes into a 2 times, so it's 22. To show that, we are going to graph it, and you can just put 0 and 22. Because this does not have the equal sign, we're going to put a circle in here, but the circle is going to be open, okay? And less than, you just point to the left. What does that mean? That each filing folder might have 21, 20, 19, etc., etc., okay? So, but it's less than 22. It does not include 22. That's why we don't close the circle. When this has an equal sign, then that's when we close the circle. Okay, so let me make a little note in here. If it's greater than or less than, open circle. If it has the equal sign, less or equal to or greater or equal to, then we close the circle. And that will mean that it will include up to 22. But in here, because it says that you have less than your colleague, it does not include 22, because by including it, you will have exactly equal to your colleague. Number 2, you have 3 crates of dragon fruit. This is a picture of dragon fruit. You eat 8 dragon fruits. Now you have less than 55 dragon fruits. How many dragon fruits might there have been in each crate? So you have the 3 crates with dragon fruit, 3 crates with dragon fruit. You eat 8. Now you have less than 55. Again, if you're subtracting, the opposite is to add. You have the 3 crates and you still have less than 8 plus 55 plus 8 is 63. Now if you're multiplying, the opposite is to divide. And so x is less than 63 divided by 3 is 21. Again, you put 0, you put 21. The circle is going to be open, and less than goes to the left. When it's less than, it always goes to the left. When it's greater than, it goes to the right. Now, whenever you have your variable on the left of the symbol, you can see that this inequality symbol is similar to this little arrow. Okay, that points to the left, this one points to the left as well. Only if your variable is on the left. Okay, what does this mean? That each grade might have less than 21, meaning 20, 19, 18, etc., etc. Okay, so we say each grade might have less than 21 dragon fruit. For number 3, it says the maximum a room has 2 groups of people and an extra person. There is a maximum of 25 people in the room. How many people are in each group? So we have the 2 groups with a number of people and an extra person. The maximum, if you look in here, the maximum is less or equal than 25 people. We subtract, you put 2x is less or equal than 25 minus 1 is 24. If I'm multiplying, the opposite of multiplication is division. And so x is less or equal than 12. Again, we graph it by putting 0 and 12. Because we have the equal sign, we're going to close the circle. And again, it's pointing to the left, so it's going that direction. This means that each group has 12 or less people. Okay, so each group might have, including the 12 because it's closed, 11, 10, etc., etc. Okay, 12 or less, including the 12. Now the minimum. You need to sweet teas. Sweet teas. Let me read it again. You need to make 31 sweet teas for a meeting and bring 21 extra grams of sugar for a dessert. You need at least 176 grams of sugar. How much sugar might each sweet tea use? Okay, so you have 31 sweet teas that we don't know how much sugar each one will use, but you also need the 21 grams for the dessert, and it has to be at least, it's right here, it's greater or equal. Okay, so greater or equal 176. Now we solve by subtracting. This cancels and we get 31x is greater or equal than 6 minus 1 is 5, 7 minus 2 is 5, and bring down the 1. Divide by 31. This cancels and you get x is greater or equal than, how many times does the 31 go into 155? Looks like 5. 5 times 1 is 5. 5 times 3 is 15. Yes. So each tea needs 5 grams of sugar. Each tea needs 5 grams of sugar or more, right? Because it's at least 5 grams of sugar or more. And for the graph, we put the 0, the 5. Because of this equal sign in the bottom, it includes the 5. And Now look how it's pointing to the right. That works only if your variable is on the left, okay? So now the arrow points to the right. Okay, with this we end our lesson. If you can please give us a thumbs up, subscribe around here to support our channel. This is the link to the entire unit. Here you will find the next video to this unit. Now you're able to do 4.6 and have fun.